Gary Trent Jr. is drafted 37th just 2 years ago. His draft grade included him being a scorer, and a scorer teams may need to keep an eye on. However, the scouts noted that while he was a good scorer, he may be too streaky for the NBA standards and may not be able to find his place in the league. The Sacramento Kings, the team who drafted him 37th, didn't even want him. They traded him to Portland. The Orlando legend was born. Bonjour, copain. Welcome to Take Some Fuego. Today we'll be taking a look at our main man, Gary Trent, and how he has tapped into witchcraft to become the second best NBA player in the bubble. Gary's first year in the league, he was pretty unnoticeable. In his 15 games as a rookie, he averaged 2.7 points per game and shot 42.9%. Well, it's not a terrible percentage. Oh, he shot 42.9% from the free throw line? What? To say he was finding his legs in the NBA was overselling him by a long shot. He stunk, and he shot 32% from the field. And even before the bubble restart, I mean, say what you want about Gary Trent Jr., but he was no Mario Hezonja. His overall averages this year are under 9 points and under 2 rebounds. But something happened before Orlando. Something magic, one could say. After being on the brink of elimination prior to the bubble restarting, Gary Trent Jr. has saved the Blazers. Oh, as well as Damian Lillard and Nurkic, and even Melo. Can't forget about that fella. His first year in the league, he shot 23% from three-point. In the first 5 games since the restart, Gary Trent Jr. is shooting three-pointers and making 62% of them. And in those 5 games, he is making 1.635 points per shot attempt. To put this into perspective, Giannis makes 1.23 points per shot attempt, and LeBron makes 1.16. Therefore, Bubble Gary Trent Jr. is already better than these two players. Wow, the strides he has made. The point is this: Portland will not be an easy team to beat in the playoffs. With Damian Lillard, Nurkic, Mccollum, Melo, and the sorcerer Gary Trent Jr. in crunch time, that will be a tough one to stop. And with Trent Jr., Lillard, McCollum, and Melo stretching the floor, opponents will need to guard every inch of it, which is going to be a big problem. Unfortunately, they are going to play the Lakers, one of the best teams in basketball. LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and McGee or Howard are going to be very tough for the Blazers to match up against based on size alone. On the flip side, who on earth is guarding Lillard? Rondo and Avery Bradley are both outside of Orlando, and Lillard is approaching Curry levels of efficiency and stardom, and it appears they're asking Alex Caruso to take on that challenge, and Danny Green to take on the challenge of CJ McCollum. This is going to be a problem, and the way Gary Trent Jr. is shooting the ball, they'll have to pick between helping on Lillard or McCollum while giving Trent or Melo an open 3, or allow Alex Caruso to guard Damian Lillard by himself. Is that really the option? Good luck either way. I foresee a high score in this matchup. It's going to be an absolute barn burner. Even more, let's project out a couple of years, and Portland still has Nurkic, Lillard, McCollum, and Gary Trent Jr., assuming he continues to improve. How are they not serious contenders? Particularly with the way their 3 guards stretch the floor. Trent's gotten himself into some conflicts with Donovan Mitchell and Paul George with his talk on the basketball court. That doesn't surprise him. He describes himself as annoying. And Trent has been one of the surprise players of the bubble, but not to him. He says about himself, "I work." There's no different way to put it, I work. I'm not surprised by this, I work for this. This is everything that I've worked for, this is what it should be. That's why I work, that's why I put countless hours in, that's why I get to the gym at night. So this is not a surprise, this is not a shock to me. I'm here to play. When my number is called, be ready. For more videos, including how Bol could change the entire Denver scheme, check out the video on the screen and be sure to subscribe or I will unleash the dark arts of sorcery.